When my daughter, Emily, bought her first home, she wanted somewhere quiet, a little farmhouse on the edge of a small town. She found the perfect place, a 2-acre lot outside the city limits, far enough from chaos, and most importantly, not part of any HOA. She even double-checked the deed to make sure. But the neighborhood next door was run by Karen, the self-appointed queen of the Meadowbrook Estates HOA. She loved power, control, and confrontation. And she hated that Emily had moved into her area without bending to her imaginary authority. It started with letters, ridiculous notices about violating HOA landscaping standards, and failure to submit property improvements. Emily ignored them. She wasn't a member, and she knew her rights, but that didn't sit well with Karen. One Saturday, Emily was unloading groceries when Karen marched up the driveway, waving a clipboard and shouting about unpaid HOA dues. Emily calmly replied, "Ma'am, this house isn't in your HOA. You don't have any jurisdiction here." That's when Karen snapped. She reached into her purse, pulled out a small handgun, and aimed it at Emily. "Everyone in this community follows my rules," she shouted, trembling with rage. What Karen didn't know, and was about to regret, was that Emily wasn't just any homeowner. She was the county sheriff. Without flinching, Emily slowly raised her hands, then said in an icy, calm voice, "Ma'am, you're aiming a firearm at a law enforcement officer. I suggest you put it down before you make the worst mistake of your life." Karen froze. A moment later, Emily flipped open her badge, revealing the gold star that made her blood run cold. Within seconds, Emily had her service weapon drawn and Karen disarmed, face down on the driveway. Backup arrived minutes later after Emily's radio call. Karen was arrested for aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, brandishing a firearm, and making terroristic threats. When the truth spread, the entire HOA board resigned in panic. The county attorney hit Karen with felony charges, and she ended up losing her gun license, her presidency, and eventually her home. Now, every neighbor in Meadowbrook knows better than to test property lines or the sheriff who lives next door. And whenever Emily drives past the HOA sign on patrol, she just smirks and says, "Some rules really aren't mine to follow.